Marquette's a explosive offensive team, to say the least. We defeated them at their place, but gave up 87 points, and felt like if we got into that same type of trading baskets mentality that they can beat anybody on anybody's court. I thought for us to keep them to under 30% from the three-point line. I know Marcus Howard had a half for the ages there, but so many of them were hard-earned. I mean, hanging in the air. Thought our centers came over and did a great job of chesting him, and in midair, he's shooting floaters, shooting on the way down. And if you make him shoot tough twos, he and Rousey, can't ask for more. I thought our bigs did a great job of staying vertical and being in the play. I thought they also did a great job of extending on ball screens in transition and in the half court. So offensively, we played really well together. 21 assists, 8 turnovers. Thought our point guard play was outstanding. And I think the key for us is just can we continue to have this type of effort and consistency as we move forward.
Chris, what would it take to be able to replicate this kind of effort and consistency on a regular basis?
Senior leadership. Making sure that those guys own the spirit of our locker room and value that on days where no media are here and nobody's in the stands, continuing to get better. And, I said it the other day at Seton Hall, I love our seniors. I don't know Karam nearly as well as the other guys because he's only been with us for a few months, but it's a very high-character, caring group of guys that are selfless. But, I don't want to say that doesn't matter. It does. It matters a whole lot. But you still have to be able to play against really good teams and get stops. But when your leadership is in place and guys play the right way, then good things can happen. So hopefully that continues.
As you're thinking about how to play this team defensively, and like you said, the perimeter defense was really good tonight, were you concerned at all that Marcus Howard could have the kind of night that he had, or the first half that he had? It's
not just Marcus. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Rousey had 31 last game, and Howard got in foul trouble. So, and then you add in Sam Hauser, who is the best stretch four shooting the ball in our league. He's also their best three-point percentage shooter, and it just stretches your defense in ways that most teams don't. So, yeah, there were a lot of concerns. The other concern was they had 9 days. I know they weren't sitting there and watching Xavier film for 9 days. Are they putting in new sets, things that we haven't seen on film that maybe through the course of the game you get a beat on, but, you may find yourself down 10 or 12 points because you're giving up looks that you didn't know existed on film. But our guys were locked in. They did a great job both halves, and, I can't ask for much more.
I feel like we're in here pretty regularly talking about an accomplishment that Trayvon Blewett has had. Obviously, that's an individual thing, and you guys rightly try to de-emphasize that, I think, to some degree. But what would you say about him getting to 2,000 points tonight?
It's very rare in college basketball because the guys that have that ability to do that don't generally stay around. And, Trayvon's the exception. He certainly has explored, the NBA. The thing I love about Trey, and it's very, very unique, is I've had guys that you play with, that you watch play, that when they're high-volume scorers and they can really go on a binge where you can't stop them. He doesn't get rattled and he doesn't get selfish when he hasn't taken a shot in 4 or 5 minutes. He doesn't get disinterested in the game. He doesn't yell at his teammates. He doesn't alienate himself. And, when you get so many accolades thrown at you and they're all deserving, I think that's the thing I'm most impressed by is just how he's been raised and the manner in which he continues to do what he does. Guy took 9 shots. He scored 2,000 points. You know how many guys that will score 2,000 points have to shoot 17, 20 times because they're the best shooter on the team? So it's very unique what I'm able to coach right now.
Coach, I'm not calling you old, but you've been around and you've seen the guys that are in the 2000 club. I mean, he's one of 5. Do you think he understands kind of historically where he stands and how big a deal this is right now?
Yeah, but I think it'll mean more the older he gets. I mean, he knows. I mean, it's been a lot of hard work. He's been the focus of so many teams, scouting reports. He's become a better player each and every year. But, you know, like everything, you look back and, you know, he's going to look back and when he's 45 years old and be able to get with the fellows and, you know that he you know, was a hell of a college player and produced a lot of points at a special program, a program that wins.
When you look at this team, the way you played the last 4 games, obviously it's kind of a microcosm of the season, but would you characterize your team as dangerous right now, the way you're playing?
I just characterize them as hopefully continuing to get better. You know, we haven't earned anything yet. You know, we're 9 games through our conference season. That's the halfway point. You know, we haven't played Georgetown yet. One time, you know, obviously it's a round-robin league, but we haven't played them yet. So, you know, Marquette's the only team that we've played twice now. So it's, you know, it's time for us to continue to maintain consistency and the willingness and desire to improve, and hopefully our seniors keep that spirit in the locker room that we do continue to improve.
Coach, Paul Scruggs had 10 points tonight. He looks like he's playing with a ton of confidence right now. Do you think he's turned a corner the last few games?
I look at our freshmen right after Christmas, and I'm watching them against Marquette when we played, and I'm saying, like, wow, they're producing more. They're more confident on the floor than our freshmen. And you know, over the last few games, obviously Najee got inserted into the lineup. Paul's had back-to-back games where he's been nothing but a positive on the floor. He's as tough as they come. He's getting experience on both ends of the floor. I think he's enjoying his teammates and vice versa a lot more. It's just a learning experience as a freshman. It's good to see Elias out there hit a shot and feel comfortable. So our freshmen are growing up, and we're going to need them in the second half of the season at certain times. And I like what I see, and I like their stick-to-itiveness. Those guys have been in the gym religiously, and it's paying off.
Coach, Quentin Gooden 3 for 3 today from 3. Is that something he's been working on, like developing?
Yeah, I mean, he's always been working on his shot. You know, Quentin lost the summer because he had plantar fasciitis, so he didn't, you know, have an opportunity to shoot 25 or 30,000 shots like other guys in the Ox gym. But more importantly, Quentin took good ones, and whether he misses or makes them, we all want him to make them, but I want him to take good ones. And the great point guards do what the game tells them. And those were all rhythm, wide-open threes off somebody else's setup. He wasn't triple threat jabbing a guy off to clear a shot. And then, you know, you go 5 assists, 1 turnover. He's doing what the game tells him. I mean, I don't know how many point guards in the country can make that in-out move and dunk the ball the way he did. You know, that's usually reserved for a small forward. So between he and Paul, we have some athletic, long guys at the point.
Chris, I know probably every player's parents want a piece of you after a game.
Want what?
I'm sorry?
What did you say?
I'm sure that all the players' parents want a piece of you after a game. But did you get a chance to talk to Trey's parents, thank them?
Very briefly. Yeah, very briefly. You know, it was ironic. We had a senior rip down the net during the play, and the play got suspended. So we presented that to Trayvon after the game. It's, you know, told O'Mara he couldn't break any backboard, so he can at least, you know, break a net, and presented it to his fellow senior.
Well, what was your thought process in sending Strand up the ladder there? Were you willing to sacrifice his body to get the net fit?
I didn't know if it was legal, but, you know, so if Strand gets kicked out of the game, I think we'll survive. And I just know how it is when I played, and it's like it's not fair. You have one end of the floor that's got a used net and the ball's going through it, and you got the other one that looks like you just bought, you know, your Huffy set at Dick's Sporting Goods with the net like this. So hell no, we're gonna get it stretched out and make it look comfortable.